I mean, come on. Are you not going to take Sergeant Fuji as your woman of this season?
Maybe I'll take Mira from another show.
Mira.
I'm just like throwing out a character from World's End Harem.
I was like,
best girl, someone from a pseudo hentai.
That's definitely just a straight up. Well, I mean, there's no penetration that we saw.
It's definitely happening though.
Cross ExAnime
70.
I was hoping you go way more monotone with it, so just like 70. Because you have such a deeper voice than me.
Do I though?
You should do some voice acting. I don't know. It just sounds deeper than mine. Maybe we should just bass boost it right at the beginning. Do I? Dude, that's me.
This week we're talking about the A-list. That's going to be Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout. That's episode
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6.
Everything this week's pretty much 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I think that's next week. It's like
then we're going like
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, because we had to do a whole thing.
Yeah. Q, and I'll be talking about that one. Matt's only going to be the one to talk about Fantasy Knockout. Then we're both going to be talking about Police in a Pod, World's End Harem, and Tokyo 24th Ward.
Listen, before we start anything, Police in a Pod's good. I think I'm buying the Blu-ray right away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pre-order it at least.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't know they could be as pretty as porn stars. Fuck.
So
imagine if your dad actually fucking said that shit to you. Ugh.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm pulling up my notes on there. What's the day?
Today is the 14th.
Oh, for people that's on Facebook and didn't buy Justice chocolate, unfortunately.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. Justice. I let you down. Did you watch the most recent episode of Demon Slayer?
Yes.
I feel like we should talk about that.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We're talking about Demon Slayer. Yo!
It's episode 11. It is the season finale.
They teased me so much. There's like, it might be an hour. Oh, it's going to be 45 minutes. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then it ended up being like 33 minutes.
Yeah.
It's still more than
I think it's one of those things where if they say it's an hour, it should be like
45
minutes. And then they said it was 45 minutes. So
and then it's like 33.
It's
so,
like,
I mean, it worked out.
Yeah, it's still slightly longer than a normal episode.
Or when you think about like a commercial break type, like it was a 45-minute time slot, I should say.
Yeah.
So, dude, Yuzui got fucked up.
Yeah.
So Yuzui's the Hirashi, right?
Yes.
Then we leave the last episode. He's like, Tanjiro, it's not over. Get moving. And then you actually cut to it, and our girl fucking Nezuko out of nowhere is like, box roll? Yeah. And just fucking stops it. Yeah. It's like, that was it? That was
her fire.
Yeah. Is it technically her demon art is the fire? Mm-hmm. Right? So you just see her blood demon art. And it's still like kind of cool seeing that Nezuko was considered to be above an upper 6.
Mm-hmm.
Or they were upper 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were upper 6. They're like, he's greater than upper 6. If, she went full ape shit on him. One thing about the episode that's like fucking adorable, the whole time, Tanjiro is carrying Nezuko. This episode, you get to watch small Nezuko carrying Tanjiro. He's got to keep his legs like straight out because she's in small form. Going, and like with her fucking Funko Pop eyes with just 2 fucking dots. God, it fucking killed me watching that. I was like, oh my God, they don't make a fucking figure of this. They're fucking failing on so many levels.
I couldn't help but laugh occasionally because, of course, the episode is very serious. Unfortunately, the last episode, Tanjiro's fingers got broken to shit.
Oh, and it's still...
And, yeah, it's still stuck like that. So he's, like, giving Nezuko, like, a head pat, and those 2 fingers are just, like,
up in the fucking
doing their own thing. And... yeah, it was every so often I couldn't help but just like look at the fingers while he's trying to do stuff and giggle because it looked goofy.
What's even funnier is like, what the fuck was wrong with Zenitsu? He's like, who did this to me? And it's like, I can't do anything. Like, can he not move?
Because he used that Godspeed twice, and even while he was using it the second time, he was basically saying that it like shreds his legs.
Oh, so he
that's
just
why
couldn't
he could
stand up and walk.
Yeah, that's why he can only do it twice.
That dude's a little bitch. You can hear from so far away, and he's crying when no one's nearby. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, come on. Who did this to me? You did this to you.
He's been.
You did this to you.
He was asleep the whole time.
But still, like, has no one told him he can do this in his fucking sleep?
Probably not.
What the fuck? Like,
It's kind of
it's
funny.
a fucking speedy thing. And then they fucking like Inosuke over there, like dying, like so fucking guttural. It's like, he's been poisoned. Nezuko, fire. Everyone freaks out. It's like, oh, he's healed. He's okay. Well, I mean, kind of.
Yeah, he's still real fucked up. I was kind of expecting there to at least be. We do get one extra Hashira that finally shows up literally at the very end.
It's like, oh, you should have got here sooner. Like, man, sorry. To be fair, this took place over like just one night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you
fair.
forget that it's been like 5 episodes from when this fight fucking started, but it's like,
yeah,
Jesus
it's still
Christ.
one of those like, you really showed up at the last minute, didn't you?
I want them to release like a full 2-hour thing. This whole thing just going down. I just want one continuous fight uploaded. I'm sure it's on YouTube, but it's like,
yeah,
upload the whole thing.
that'd be cool. They
Dude, well, the thing is, Yuzui's dying next to his wife's. Let me tell you something before I can't. And then the one just fucking crying her eyes out. I was like, shut up so he can talk. It's like, maybe you should shut up if he can talk. And he's like, I'm going to die without being able to fucking say anything. It's like the blank face is what fucking
die
gets
without
me.
being able to say my last words.
It's like, oh, that's why I fucking love Demon Slayer. They're just sitting there, serious comedy, big comedy. And it's like, that's it. And then again, Nezuko comes over, sets him on fire to clear him.
I like how they finally notice her. She goes,
Fire.
She's like, hi, I'm here.
And the one wife that's crying her eyes like, bad Nezuko, I'm going to fucking spank you for this. It's like, don't you dare do this again. It's like, well, I can finally breathe again. I can talk.
Yeah, and of course, Uzui's like super confused on what's going on. Because
it's like, I mean, he doesn't really know about Nezuko's like blood demon art. Because the last time we saw her demon art was when he was fighting Spider Dude.
No, you see it during Mugen Train. Because that's how she burns the ties.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she does go through Mugen Train. Yeah, there's
And she also uses it a little bit in the fight against Maki.
It was kind of the thing is I love about Demon Slayer. They do this thing all the time where you get to see like the
Daki. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you get to see the past of the demons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she goes by Daki, but her brother remembers her true name, which is
Ume.
Yeah. And you hear like, because every demon is somewhat justified in like why they're so shitty, but they just get caught up in it. Because Ugly Dude, whatever the fuck his name was.
Gyotaro.
Yeah, whatever. Ugly Dude. I'm going to try and fucking say this. Ugly Dude was born. His mother almost killed him while he was in the womb. Tried to kill him again while he was like alive and a kid. Basically abandoned. Then his sister was born. Most beautiful girl ever. You know, she's got the white hair, blue eyes, shit like that. He tries to protect her. Long story short, one day a samurai tries to like, I don't know, court her or tries to have sex with her. She gets scared, stabs him with a hairpin.
Well, it's on payment because even it's kind of established even at that point she was prostituting a little bit. Yeah. So he didn't pay immediately, and she like took the hairpin that he gave her and fucking stabbed him in the eye.
Then he took that. Well, he took that as like, oh, I'm being attacked, and then her punishment was he tied her up, set her on fire alive in a pit. So there was dirt next to it. So he took time to dig a pit, throw her in, set her on fire. And like the whole premise of this is like the house owner, which is like the whorehouse owner, says this is like repent for what she did to him, but then he still has to pay her because she's still concerned about the payment. And luckily, Ugly Dude, it was kind of justified. It was kind of cool. Because Ugly Dude gets slashed in the back while holding his sister, saying like he's going to fight all the gods. Dude fucking 360 backflip jumps, stabs her in the fucking face with a scythe. Samurai Dude's like, what the fuck just fucking happened over there? The fuck? And then he slashes Samurai Dude, and that's kind of backstory of why they're like that.
Yeah.
It was still kind of sad of like, yeah, they're fucked up. They killed so many people, but to them, the whole world was just out to get them anyways. So it's kind of like,
Yeah. You do see them like basically argue about not loving each other, and then you see that kind of flashback, and they kind of make up there at the end.
yeah. Luckily,
while
Tanjiro's there to be like, you don't want to say that. And it's like, Tanjiro, you're so kind-hearted.
Yeah, puts his hand over the mouth. I do think it is kind of weird as
The
they're
demon should have
like,
bit him.
no, they're both like gasping, and it's like,
where are you?
You're just ahead.
Yeah,
Calm down.
You don't need this. You don't need air.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, I know it did kind of take out the situation, but it just proves Tanjiro's heart, like that whole thing of, what heart are we in? Oh, it's so pure and like beautiful. And it's like, Tanjiro's such a good guy.
Yeah. They
Tanjiro dies, we riot.
They do end up like walking off. It's
into like hell.
Yeah, so
They're both in like purgatory, it seems like, debating like she's obviously gonna head towards heaven, he's gonna walk through.
No, because neither of them could go to heaven.
Well, there was a light one way. He said walk towards light. It was more kind of like sunsetty light versus hell.
Well, it's supposed to be based on Buddhism. So if they wanted to be reincarnated, you would repent your sins through hell and then eventually being reincarnated.
It was kind of bittersweet of like, we'll stick together forever, brother. It's like, but you gotta go through hell. Maybe they're just automatically reincarnated.
Nah.
Just I mean, they've done.
They killed a lot of people. Come on now. You see what they did to that town.
Listen, man, they were asking for it. They were whores.
Oh.
I know it was good. It was a good way to end it. Like at first, it was like, how is this fight gonna end? Because they left you last episode with like big explosion, fire slowly simmers out as like embers are falling, and it's like, what am I supposed to do for a week? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Attack on Titan's still going, but I have not watched this week's episode. I think it ends in like 2 weeks. I think we have this week, the next 2 weeks, and that's when it actually ends. Oh, on important news before we continue to our regular shows, did you see Mushoku Tensei is getting a random episode in March?
Yeah.
Like March 6th, they're getting some random like not spin-off, but some random episode with like the main girl, Urza.
Probably just going to be like a small OVA thing.
I think it's like to fill a plot hole thing for, I don't know. I don't know what the whole thing is. But it'll be pretty interesting that we're getting some more Mushoku Tensei. I don't know. Also, I feel like Demon Slayer definitely is going to take either, I don't know. I don't know if it'll take Anime of the Year. It'll definitely take Fight of the Year, because when you really think about it, it was mostly just, let's get in the city, and then let's fight. So I don't think it deserves Anime of the Year. It's good. But I think it definitely will get a Fight of the Year. Unless Bleach or Shield Hero pull something out of their ass, which...
We still have Chainsaw Man.
We have Chainsaw Man, Bleach, technically Overlord, and supposedly they're actually getting a real budget this time rather than cut it halfway through. Well, that's supposed. And then Shield Hero. Is there anything else coming out this year?
I mean, Date Alive 4.
Oh, that's true. Date Alive 4 might be. I don't think they will. Let's be honest.
I don't think so either.
But I feel like if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Bleach. But Bleach is always that, like, let's build up till the end and then hit.
You never know. To Your Eternity is going to be in October.
To Your Eternity is way more emotional fight versus, like, hard. Well, isn't it Jujutsu Kaisen?
No.
Or is that next year?
That's going to be, like, next year.
Oh.
And then,
then
you
the movie.
do also have My Hero coming back. And this is supposed to be the, like, big push into...
I don't know about My Hero. My Hero is that thing of like, I really loved it. I really love talking about it. I feel like lately it's just like, it's been okay. It hasn't been like, yo, let's fucking go. Like All Might versus like, I think the biggest fight recently or the biggest part of any of My Hero the last 2 seasons is the Overhaul versus Deku fight. And even then it was like, it was like cool for the 1 episode, but the rest of the season was pretty...
the rest of the season basically led up to it.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing was like Red Riot. Red Riot and Fat Gums fight, which still very emotional. I wouldn't say like very high end, like fight.
Yeah, I think with My Hero, the last couple of seasons haven't been great, but you do kind of have to sludge through some stuff to eventually build up to something great.
Well, this whole last season was just a build-up season, which makes sense, but it was cool because you saw everyone else's powers.
Yeah, I know people really complained about seeing, like,
Class 2B or 1B or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or I think it's 2A. I think that's what it is because it's 1A and 2A.
But it's like, well, these characters are probably going to be very important, and at some point, whether you like it or not, unless you want to be confused, you kind of got to see what they're about.
Yeah, because I feel like last season, this season, were all kind of build-up things. Because season 1 was build-up, big fight. Season 2 was kind of a build-up to season 3. Season 3 was pretty good because that was the whole... Wait, was season 3 the whole overall fight stuff? Or was that season...
That was
season 4, wasn't it?
That was All Might versus All for One.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, that was a pretty cool fight. Was it still the best fight out there? I don't know. There's the difference between a very emotional fight versus, like, a very good fight. Which I'd kind of love to see, like...
I do think that was a really good fight. Yeah. Especially, like, it also does have, like, emotional kind of impacts. Because basically, at that point, like, All Might's done. Like, he can't fight no more.
That's it.
That's
Endeavor's fight was pretty fucking cool, though, too.
That was the same season, though.
Oh, was that the same?
Yeah. Because that was right after the fight.
Was that right after the fight? I feel like that was in a different season.
Maybe season 4?
Because Hawks wasn't even introduced really yet.
Season 4 then?
Yeah, maybe that was season 4, and then that was season 4's big thing, but it basically... I don't know, maybe this next season will be really good. I was kind of let down by some of the fights this season. The movies have been like all... Listen, if the movies actually played into the real story, it would be better.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. So.
Yeah, so besides that, we're going back to just being ordinary.
Typical shonen movies.
Yeah, so we're going to be ordinary, just like our hero.
All right.
Listen, this show is... How did I describe this show? Just fuck already. I mean, honestly, dude, oh my God. So Discount Kirito shows up, which was in the fucking trailer. It's like, what, is Discount Kirito just like a random thing? Like, is that the joke? No, this dude is straight up just Discount Kirito. Same robe, same sword, same basically kind of haircut on there. And he's like, yo, what's your name? I wrote down the name. I don't know if you wrote down the name. His name is Schwartz von Liechtenstein Lagoram.
You're the only one watching this.
Oh, that's right. I was the only one watching this. I forgot because you're watching Q, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So there's this hero that shows up, right, Justus? In the opening theme sequence for this show, excuse me, you see a dude that looks like Kirito, right? And you're like, is that just a joke? And then they meet this dude in the, like, these last, so watching episode 3, 4, 5, because only episode 1 and 2 were available last time. And this random dude just shows up. And you're like, who's this fucking random dude? And his name, he's like, haha, I've saved you. My name is Schwarzbein Liechtenstein Lagharam. Lagharam? And I was like, and they literally were like, can you repeat that again? I forgot it. And then it goes through the sequence again. I was like, oh, did Crunchyroll just buffer? Nope, the guy literally reintroduced himself just like that. Threw off the cape, put down the sword, and he's like, oh, so your name is like Schwartz-kun? No, my name is... And they do it a fucking third time. And I'm like, listen, this man keeps saying his fucking name every fucking single time. Like, it was pretty fucking long every single time. So they meet this dude, and he's like, oh, I have to fight Tachibana, which is our main actual dude, not the girl. Mm-hmm. So what does he do? He's like, okay, I'll pull out my sword and intimidate him. And then he goes to slash at him. He dodges the slash, right? But the dude cuts like half the town behind him because he just has this extremely OP sword. This dude is also isekai'd into this world, by the way. He just didn't like come from this world. He was isekai'd in because he noticed he was wearing a suit. He's like, oh, that guy's wearing a suit. How does he know what a suit is? Which would make sense in a fantasy world. Like, how would someone know what like a regular cut suit would look like? They end up settling the fight because he's like, I'll use my super OP attack. And what happens? The town's guards show up. It's like, you're under arrest for like destruction of property. What? It wasn't me. It's like, motherfucker, you just cut like 40 fucking houses in the background. It's like, of course you're under arrest for destruction of property. He's like, so they get to the interrogation, right? It's like, But I'm a hero. Prove you're a hero. Well, I happen to have this crest on my hand. So what happens next, Justice? Oh, that's the hero's crest from this certain religion. Yeah, now you're under arrest for perjury as well. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, you're pretending to be a fucking priest. You're under arrest. It's like, what? Now I'm under arrest for this shit? And of course, Tachibana and Jinguji, I'm learning Japanese. He is like, I wonder if we got tattoos when we got reincarnated. So Tachibana, which is a girl, and her perk is basically, if you just look at her, you start to fall in love. Takes off like her jacket, which basically just leaves her in like kind of like a, I guess wife beater is not the real name, tank top type thing. And it's like she got a tattoo there. And of course, like Jinguji is like, okay, this is getting way too sexual. Like he's leaning in to like almost kind of seems like kiss her neck. It's like, nope, gotta stop. And then after that, they're like, well, how do I prove I'm not a fucking like, how do I prove I'm actually the hero? Well, a real hero would stop crimes from happening. Let me give you a quest. And of course, Tachibana and Jinguji is like, is this what they call that side mission story for a quest? It's like, God damn it. And what do you think the quest is? Go stop this monster that's been terrorizing the convoys. Get to the monster. It's a huge suit of magical armor that just steals magical items. One thing they pointed out that you never really thought of, they steal everything, even their clothes. Yeah, this suit of armor straight up just steals your clothes too. Like, Tachibana's running away from this monster, and then Discount Kirito shows up to try and save her, right? Doesn't pierce the armor. Discount Kirito gets his sword taken. He's like, oh shit, he took my sword. Then the suit of armor's like, I'll take those clothes too. Yoink, rolls up, throws inside the armor, and it's like, that motherfucker really just take his clothes? So like the knight assigned with him, which is like part of the town's watch, obviously a female. Apparently everyone thought it was a male. I was like, well, obviously, like, sounds like a female. Whatever to the story. She goes to attack, fails, loses the top half of her clothes, and then Tachibana's like, man, I'm real sorry. I thought you were a man the whole time. And she's like, I do present myself that way. And Tachibana's like, don't worry, you're cool in my book. It's like, that's just insult to injury at that point. Now she's missing all of her fucking clothes. You'd be like, you know what? I thought you were a man. Be all right in my book on there. So then, one important thing I forgot to mention, Tachibana bought a magical item, or Jinguji bought Tachibana a magical item, which makes people avert their eyes to them, which was 300 gold pieces. And they were like, well, how do we get this item? And Tachibana, being beautiful and anyone will do what she says if they look at her, was like, I can get a discount. Walks in like, hey, shopkeep, can you give me a discount? He's like, take my whole shop and marry me. She's like, he's like, you can have my whole shop. It doesn't matter if you marry me. Just be with me. Basically got this TR. Fight ends with our boy Jinguji getting pissed. Like, Tachibana keeps doing stuff like, wow, so this, you really get more power when you kind of get off to my imagination. He's like, no, fuck you. Shut up. I'm not doing that. It's like, what if I wore a maid outfit? Maid outfits are stupid. Who's coming home to a maid outfit? They're clunky. They don't really make sense. Punches the robot, knocks the robot over. Then it's like, what do you prefer, a bunny girl outfit? He's like, that's dumb. No one would want it. Like, who even wears a bunny girl outfit? It just doesn't make sense in any setting. Punches the robot, knocks it out again. Finally, he gets pissed off. It's like, or do you like little schoolgirls? Finally, like, he gets all pissed off because the robot's interfering with them, having their little argument. Defeats the robot. That's pretty much the end of it. The robot was controlled by like one of the demon army's like top generals, and they did a whole interrogation thing. There's not too much to the show. You kind of got to watch it. It's more of like a slice of life isekai. But I think it's fun. Sorry, that was more of a play-by-play than what I really liked, but the like commentary between Tachibana and Jinguji just like arguing because the spell put on both of them makes Tachibana look very cute and adorable. She's basically a lolly. And Jinguji is just falling in love because of that. Whereas Tachibana is falling in love with Jinguji because the spell's been put on him for being just too handsome. Discount Kirito is pretty cool, though. Maybe you should get a clue. Or should I say, that's your cue? Do you still have 16 girls? Have any of them been fired yet?
Still have 16 girls.
Oh, my God. So what, you have 16 girls you have to remember for Q. And then what was the other show we were watching?
I mean,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Sailor's uniform?
Yeah, so now you have to remember 16 girls.
Yeah,
in
no,
each
I'm
shows.
not doing that.
You gotta remember 32 girls.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Tell you what, if you can remember all their names by the end of this season, I'll give you a prize.
What kind of prize?
I'll watch like a season of whatever show you want me to watch.
There's still no way.
What? You could make me watch Made in Abyss.
Well, you should have watched Made in Abyss anyways.
You could make me watch something shitty. You can't be like One Piece. I'm not watching 1,000 episodes of One Piece.
Why not?
What?
Why not?
Because that takes, Jesus Christ. What was it? We figured out if you watched it nonstop, it'd take you like almost a month at this point. Or it'd take you
2
about
weeks.
Watch it nonstop? Here, you talk about Q. I'm going to do some math real quick.
So, Q, just do like 1,000 episodes. Man, so right now with Q, they're basically breaking off the 16 girls into groups of 4 that are all doing their own projects. You have one group who has been cast. The last time we talked about them, the main girl that we're introduced to, Haruna, she was cast as Student A.
Oh, that's right.
She
didn't get the main part. She
didn't get any main part, so she just got cast as.
So how many people have parts right now?
4.
So 4 out of the 16, or was it only 4 tried and like 4 got it?
4 out of the 16.
Okay.
So every single one of them tried.
The rest of them fucking suck.
They were all new to voice acting.
Maybe they should be better.
Maybe you should have a voice acting role.
I can.
Where?
Right now.
No.
Hi, audio listeners.
Well, that doesn't count. So she was like, "Oh, Student A." Wasn't quite expecting that, but hey, I'm excited. Like, at least I have a role.
It's a paid gig.
Yeah.
Are they getting paid for this, or is this like kind of a pro bono thing? Are they getting paid?
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be paid a whole lot. They are also like staying at the company because there's lodgings connected to it. So it's like 3 floors. Yeah. Probably they'll take like a portion to help with housing and
it's like
stuff
army
like that.
pay. They pay for your food and like your living, but you don't get paid as much.
Yeah, it's probably something like that. They really haven't gotten into the weeds of it. And most of the girls, like some of them are still in high school. Some of them.
I thought they were all like adults or like college.
No.
Oh, okay.
So some of them are still in high school. Some of them are in college. Some of them are adults that are in neither. The very few of those, but it's all new.
Who's your favorite?
Favorite?
Who's your favorite thus far? Say it in Henry terms. Red hair girl?
No. Brown haired girl.
Wow.
There's 2 of them, short brown hair.
Basic.
Yuki.
Got pics?
Huh? Yeah. The Basic. Yuki's pretty good so far, just because she's
successful.
No, kind of put herself like out there and tried to help the team and like actually be.
That is a very basic looking character.
Yeah,
I mean, when you got to draw
her voice is super unique though.
Was her voice actress? You said a lot of these voice actresses, it's like their first or second thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is this her first thing?
Yes. This is the only thing she's ever done.
So I'm gonna have you audition for a show where you audition for another show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the character of Haruna, the Student A, it turns out that she's not just Student A. She's basically the regular Phil person.
Oh, so she's like the background character that always just like what's his name from Comey? The random one?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't
like
remember.
that one girl, that like just shows up. Kind of like that role, or more of like
you will also be cat for this episode that meows occasionally, or like a lot of those additional roles. So
when you say cats in anime, I just think of ghost stories.
Mm-hmm. It basically, in her case, she will go to the recording every single week because she is the set, like background fill individual.
Yeah.
For small roles, like no faces, no names, anything like that. Typically, like, they'll have one or two individuals that will be for both. You, especially on the English side, you really notice that they've only got like 3 guys doing it. So she was like, "Oh, so I've got a bunch of roles. Does this mean like I'll be going every single week?" Like, yeah, congratulations. It's like, yay, steady work.
Yeah, I'm getting paid to live. So is she also in high school, or is she more like that graduated and getting into it? type thing?
She's also in high school, like senior year or some shit like that.
Huh.
There's one of them that's like a freshman in high school, comparatively. But
This
most
show
of them
makes
are.
more sense based on, you know how we looked up a lot of the voice actresses that we were watching. It's like, yeah, she's got a pretty big role. How old is she? She's 17. It's like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, and I mean, voice acting is like a legitimate career that people are looking to do in
Nowadays.
Japan. Yeah. Here in the US, it almost feels like it's stuff that you just fall into here. I don't think I know too many people who have actively been like, I wanted to voice act. This has been my dream. This is the career goal.
I think now it's like, in the US, it's still that thing of, oh, I do this one thing. Oh, they wanted me to guest star as like a voice on the show. And now, like, you look at Matt Mercer. It's like, now he just voices a lot of shit.
Perfect example is Johnny Young Bosch, one of the most well-known ones. He started doing like the Power Rangers stuff. And then someone eventually was like, hey, have you ever thought about doing like voice acting? Do you want like to try this thing? And then that's when he started doing stuff.
So the girls now have their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to her job. Basically, she works every day now, right? Or she works a lot there.
It's like once a week ish. They'll go to the studio just because it is pre-production stuff. So a lot of that is like, here's the script for this episode. Like, here's the rough sketches to try to sync things up. The next episode, because you get that, and then they focus more on the idol group that I was telling you that got formed. Basically, a second set of 4 has now became idols, essentially. There is a third set of 4 that were also introduced within these 3 episodes that is doing podcasting. And I don't know what the last set of 4 is going to do, which is going to be interesting.
Head tie.
Sure. No.
Confirmed.
No.
Is that all that happened?
So
or was it kind of like that? Like kind of like something can happen.
Well,
didn't happen. Or?
So each episode they've kind of tried to focus on the groups, which I think is smart. Instead of hopping around with all 16 girls in an episode, they transition more into like, all right, those who have chosen to be an idol, this is where your like dance training and stuff like that is going to start. One of the girls is very much like unconfident at like
kind of clumsy unconfident, or just like isn't comfortable doing any of the
both. Like the worst level. Ari, she is like, everything's based on like horoscopes, and anytime you say something to her, it starts with "I'm sorry." So she's super like unconfident, and eventually they kind of work a little bit of the
she must be Canadian
unconfidence like out of her.
They should just beat it out of her.
No,
Yes.
part of it was just working together as a team, and even realizing that not everyone's perfect, and
We're perfect.
people make mistakes. No, I am far from perfect.
Are you used to your eyes?
Sorry. my perfect stomach decided it was time to throw up.
It's all the eggs you ate.
Yeah. But she eventually kind of pushes out of it, starts to dance kind of in sync, and realize that like everything's going to be kind of okay.
Everything is awesome.
No.
The
The next episode though, episode 5.
Wait, so is she in high school as well, or is she?
Yes.
Are most of these girls just in high school?
Most of them.
Like maybe like an 80-20 split?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get an idea of like what their character is supposed to be like. You know?
Yeah, most of them are in high school. A couple of them are adults, which is also kind of cool because even during like the dance practices and stuff like that, occasionally you'll see some of the other girls, like the ones who are doing the voice acting. Because in episode 5, they're like, all right, we're going to practice. It's a couple days before the official recording for the anime. And they've got scripts in hand so they know, what they'll be reading. They even have some of the pre-visual stuff to try to time and sync everything to. And every so often while they're like doing stuff in the background, you see some of the girls coming home around like the end of the day, and the ones who are doing the idol and dancing stuff, now that Aries kind of gotten into the groove and they're all in sync. At one point, one of them was like literally dragged in like over the arm, like, come on, I know it's been tough. We'll go upstairs, go to bed. And it's like, don't you guys want anything to eat? And it's like, God, no. As they're like dragging themselves up the stairs, where it's like, all right, you still see some of them throughout the episode, though they may not be the core focus. But episode 5 was super, super cool because we get a little side detour. They're not supposed to have pets. The main girl, Haruna, has a pet turtle, and she's like trying to hide it in her room because they've already moved into the dorms. The first 4 girls have.
Turtles don't do anything.
Yeah. It eventually like got brought to the boss lady, and it was
They
like,
killed the turtle.
no, it
They
was
ate the
like,
turtle.
look, it's a turtle. If everyone else is fine with it, you can keep the turtle.
So next episode, all the girls are getting turtles.
No. Why? She's a fan of turtles. Like she even has like a.
They could all
turtle
get
plushie in
matching
the corner.
turtle.
No,
Fucking nerd turtle plushie.
Oh, that's what she has. But they let her have it. She basically uses kind of like an emotional support turtle.
Turtle's over there like, what the fuck is going on?
She'll basically like talk to the turtle. She was
It's
running.
fucking crazy.
She was running her lines like to the turtle as like a way of practice and stuff like that.
What if the turtle talks back?
But that'd be weird. But we get into the coolest part, and I was so like absorbed. We get to the recording studio with the 4 girls, and then the other 4 who aren't really like in any group or anything like that. They're there observing on the side, and you see like full recording, like in production. You've got everyone in the room knowing when people need to queue up to like step up to theirs, the like introductions. You've got the director being like, all right, this is real cool. We're going to do another take. Can we start from this line? And they do like a test read, and they come in and it's like, can you emphasize this, like the per and percent, because that they have the mangaka there as the official like resource where it's like, do you think that's good? It's like, tweak this. Of course, the manga artist is a typical manga artist, kind of recluse. She's like, everyone introduces themselves, like bows, thank you for having us. And she goes, thank you. Like dips away. So you get to see the process of them making these small edits, and both Haruna and Makia,
you're gonna have to learn all these names. You don't got much time, man.
Yeah. Haruna and Makia. Haruna, student A. Makia is supposed to be the lead, which is for a first timer is a really big deal. They have a line where Haruna speaks to Makia's character, and the first time they get 0 corrections. It's perfect, and it's like, all right.
Go again.
Well, now that they've done the test and made some of the small corrections, you get into the actual recording one, and I think they were like one of the girls that are part of Air Blue, the studio. It's like, we're gonna have you record yours on tape 2 or something, which is basically there's overlapping dialogue, so they're going to record her separately on a separate track, so that way they can get the levels correct. So as much as she was in the focus with everything else, now she basically just kind of has to sit around until it's actually her turn, which is interesting to see some of that process play out, where they decide, oh, there's too much like overlap with both of these two talking, we're gonna split it up, and all of that decision making that's happening in the episode. Haruna and Makia get to their parts, and Haruna's like nerves, because it's the actual recording one. She kind of like adds a little bit too much kind of emotion to like a good luck like sentence. It's like a line and a half, or a sentence and a half ish. So not crazy long or important or anything like that.
Did she cry her eyes out?
No.
She fucked up.
And Makia, because they're kind of going off of each other, because they're kind of each other's cues, also adds a little bit of emotion unintentionally to the response. And that's not what they did the first time. So they finish the recording, and it's like, do we want to have them like redo that? And the mangaka is like, no. And that was it. That was it. And it's like, what do you mean we didn't?
Mangaka puts out cigarette. Did good, kid.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's like she kind of has been very focused on this stuff, where it turns out that student A kind of has a speaking, or an actual role later that she hasn't physically written into the manga story yet, but she has planned. She's just been busy with other stuff that she hasn't forgot.
Sounds like she's a lazy
per
piece of
se.
shit.
She just like didn't quite remember to bring it up because it hadn't been important in the production, and they're like looking through the manga real quick and like grabbing stuff, and they're like, do we want like more emotion, like going through that process of changing things on the fly? Cool. It was super cool.
It'd be dope if like this was actually the like recording for a show that they just put out next.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be dope. It'd be super
cool.
hard.
Mm-hmm. But even just like watching the process of them like go through stuff and make changes on the fly.
I think you would like Shirobako. Because Shirobako is them making an anime from the animator perspective, not really the voice acting perspective, and like what all goes down if like management like, oh shit, we need like these stencil outlines for like these colors.
But I like the voice acting side of stuff.
It's like 16 lollies.
Yeah, no.
No.
But that was the core of episode 5. If they have them do like a third take, just those two starting from their line, and they're like way more emotion. Like just tone it up another 10%. And then they do that recording. It's like, that's it. That's exactly what we needed.
I wonder what it's like dealing with Tenjiro's voice actor. Can you stop fucking crying? Stop fucking crying. You cry way too much.
That man has COVID.
He cries too much. He got COVID because he's fucking opening his mouth crying so much.
Rude.
That man cries. I mean, he's doing like...
just the characters that he's playing, though.
Have you seen the other two characters that he's playing? Bitch fucking cries in all those as well.
Yeah,
I love Tanjiro's voice actor.
Seems more like just a role thing instead of a him thing.
Listen, I'm not saying that Nezuko's voice actress might win voice actor of the year. Listen, we forgot to mention she had like a one line.
Yeah,
that's more she's had in like the entire 2 seasons on there.
Let me get to this last episode real quick.
Oh, you got to fucking speak through it.
Well, fucking shut up.
We don't need play-by-plays.
Dude, there were... I'm also giving extra commentary of other stuff, but there was like 3 minutes of 4 of the girls chasing a balloon. it was kind of cheesy. It's kind of on the like it's destiny kind of thing. Those are the ones that eventually
so
do the
fucking
podcast. Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Was it like almost a cringe type scene, or was it like...
It wasn't just crazy cringe. Someone was like, oh, they spent way too long on the balloon. And it's like, look, it's like 3 minutes. It's not...
That's too long on a balloon.
It's not crazy long, especially when they're like actively chasing after the balloon kind of thing. So it's whatever. It wasn't like it was a quarter of the episode or anything like that. It was the prelude to the opening. So yeah, they've decided, hey, we want to try to branch out more. We've picked you four to be a group as well. Decide what you would like to do, because nothing's really set in stone. They've already got the idol stuff. Of course, another group is actively doing recordings. What would they want to do? And they're like, let's do a podcast. That sounds fun. It's like web radio, essentially, is what they're doing. And you kind of go over that, and then you hear a story about one of the characters who is more of the older girls. Aya, she like finds a cat in the rain and tries to keep the cat. And you kind of rehash a little bit of the like, well, no pets. And it's like, but the cat was sick. And eventually they like find the cat's owner, and they talk about that on the podcast. So,
Cat died.
No, the cat didn't die.
Cat died.
No.
Cat died.
Police and pod. Old man almost died.
Oh, I didn't even get a shitty transition to talk about how they did voice acting in a pod and voice in
stop
the pod.
it. Stop it.
I would say these 3 episodes have way more relaxed than like, yo, my stepdad rapes me. It's like,
you say that, but like we almost literally started with like molested on a train.
That's true. That girl did get molested. It's like, yo, what the fuck is going? Listen, Police in a Pod by far is one of my favorite shows of the season. I think it's an underwatched show. I don't think it's underrated, because the rating on Mal is a proper rating. It's got like a 7.5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is a good rating? I think more people should watch Police in a Pod. What do you
Mal, it's got 6.68 for Police in a Pod.
Oh, it must have gone down, because I think last I looked, it was like 7.5, almost like 7.3. 6 point, what was it? 6.1?
8.6.
I guess that kind of works out, because 7 is good. I think 6 is fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Police in a Pod. Listen, my favorite episode of these 3 was when they go to the bar. They have, what did they call it? They did it's called a mixer. They went to the mixer, right? And of course, Sergeant Fuji comes in. It's like, Kawaii, you're not dressed yet? Sergeant, I've never been to a mixer. What do I wear? It's like, bitch, use the fucking internet. Use the goddamn internet. It's not... Also, Sergeant Fuji just walks in all the time. She's just like, come in. Can I come in? And she just walks in. And even Kawaii is like, what's even the point of asking if you're just going to fucking walk in? Like, Fuji breaking in and entering. Fucking just wait for her to respond. Fuji's a babe, by the way. Sergeant Fuji, best girl. Best girl of the season. Sorry, Oba. I found myself a new woman.
Oh, wow. I can't believe you'd flop like that.
Oba's my woman from last season. My woman this season is Sergeant Fuji. What? Is there a better woman? I mean, there's the one from Shirobako. Or wait. That's not the right anime. Bisco?
Sabikwi Bisco?
Sabikwi Bisco?
Yeah.
No.
Talking about the sister?
Yeah, the sister on there. No. Dude, Sergeant Fuji over here, like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I fucking want. Also, there's some major sexual tension between Sergeant Fuji and poofy hair dude. I forget his name. I didn't write it down.
Minamoto?
Minamoto, yeah. There's some heavy sexual tension between those two.
Yeah.
Oh, when they're walking to their spot. Also, I didn't know that was like, here's a private thing. You can hear everything going on one wall over. It's like, come on.
I think it depends on the mixer that you're going to. It's kind of
I thought it was a work mixer at first.
Yeah.
Because when I think mixer, I think work related, like everyone's going to it. I I don't know if it means something else over there. Maybe I think mixers or something. I don't know.
I've never been to either.
Oh,
So
I've never been to a mix. Well, collect. I've been to some political mixers. That shit sucks. When you're like, 18 and every politician there is like fucking on their AARP membership, and you're like, yes, I'll take another cherry Coke, good sir. They're like, yeah, I'll take a fucking rum and Coke. Besides that, like when they're outside yelling at each other, like, you shouldn't be dating anyone because you're going to become captain. Well, you can't date anyone because you're never going to be home on time. It's like, maybe you two should just, date each other.
I do like how on the nose they quickly realized that it's like, look, everything we're saying is also backfiring on both of us. So like, let's just stop it here.
It's like, God damn it. No, but that mixer was so cool. I love like just Officer Kawaii. Because she always says father today. I like just thinking in her head. It's like, it's kind of cute on there. She's still thinking about her father, even though she said Sergeant Fuji looks like a fucking porn star. That's the best thing to say. But dude, when they go and they get talked to about the cars. Listen, guys, it's been 5 days. We haven't passed the 5-day mark without any incident because of the detectives. You two, you're doing a good job. You can leave. Fucking leave right away.
Yeah, the girl, she was like actually wearing professional clothes today. The green-haired girl.
Green-haired girl was actually like
Miwa.
I think it's because when they got called in, she was like, "Yo, I gotta fucking change it." Like something
you normally see her in like the jumpsuit stuff, and it was like, "Oh, look at her all dressed
or like the
up.
sweater." Yeah, like wearing an officer. Listen, she's second best girl of the season, but Sergeant Fuji. I mean, come on, are you not gonna take Sergeant Fuji as your woman of this season?
Maybe I'll take Mira from another show.
Mira.
I'm just like throwing out a character from World End Harem.
I was like,
best girl, someone from a pseudo hentai.
That's definitely just a straight up. Well, I mean, cause there's no penetration that we saw.
It's definitely happening though.
Definitely is. No. Police in a Pod though. It's just so much fun to like. No matter if we have a shitty show, I can go watch because I've been watching Police in Pod almost every week. I watched. Episode, what were we watching? Are we watching 3, 4, 5 right now? We're watching
4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. So I think I watched episode 4 the day it came out. And I watched 5 and 6 the other day. It's so much fun. But when they have the fucking car chasing, so anyone that's not watching the show, that should be watching the show, they're in the middle of a meeting. They get a call of, there's a man with a weapon. We need you right now. And they're like, okay, you two take the, domestic affairs car. Copy. We need to take another car. Captain's like, there's another one down there. Take that. They leave. And immediately, the head captain of the police force is like, you realize, Chief, that's your car. He's like, oh, shit. Because they keep scratching cars. He's like, I'm not talking about little dings. There are some stupid things where they back the car into the wall or they, go forward over a curb.
No, because that's all they've been.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, it's been, all of it's been in the line of, duty and this and that. And it's like, No, you backed into a parking spot.
It's all stupid shit.
Yeah.
Then they go to fucking race. It's like, yo, it takes 30 minutes to get there. First of all, so you get Fuji, Miyamoto, Kawaii, and red hair guy, which is Yamada. And they're all going to the car in their groups, right? So you got Kawaii and Fuji. They fuck up so bad that Kawaii gets put with Minamoto. And then Yamada gets in the car with Fuji, Sergeant Fuji. And I'm like, how do you fuck up that bad? You were shoulder to shoulder, distances apart. How? I mean, that's the point of the fucking show. And then they're like, you know what, Justice? What's smart? Oh, we just got talked about beating up cars. Let's race. Then Miyamoto's like, yo, we need to go off-road. Fucking goes off-road, completely fucking wrecks that fucking car. Where Kawaii's like, yo, it says narrow road. Maybe we should slow down. No, it's all about speed. Then they have that heartfelt moment of, listen, if we don't get there in time, it might make a difference. It's like, oh, he does care. And then he doesn't fucking care. He just goes fucking guns it to the wall.
Yeah, because Kawaii keeps having, it's like, says the sergeant who has no justice in his eyes.
Yeah. Well, the best part is, too, the two that didn't get in trouble showed up first anyways. Because they're already getting in their fucking car. It's like, sorry, just mistake. Like, he was just calling to his wife because he kind of got lost. It's like...
Destroyed car for no reason.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you got to go tell the chief this now that you destroyed this whole fucking car and its paint job.
Yeah.
It ends with them being like, you're fired. It's like, are they actually going to get fired? They won't, but, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'd even talk about the scene where, what happened? The old guy gets lost. First of all, Dog Sama, best boy of the season. They're like, listen, that's a police dog.
That dog didn't help.
That dog didn't help at all. He just fucking ran off. It's like, he's got the scent. Let's chase him. And then you have the realization of Kawhi, like, I want to quit. Fucking crying. Oh, that was fucking hilarious. It's just like, I'm crying. I gotta pee. I'm hungry. Then comes the scene of like, listen, you can, like, Miyamoto is talking to Kawhi and he's like, listen, anytime you gotta pee, just let me know. As he's handing the water bottle as Sergeant Fuji and Yamada. I don't have him in front of me on there. You're cheating. And Yamada's like, okay. Yamada goes to arrest Miyamoto. and it's Sergeant Fuji's like, it's okay, Kawhi. You can tell me anything. So what it looks like.
Target arrested at
it's like 10:50 a.m. Oh, man, I fucking love this show so much.
Yeah, and of course you still have that moment where it's like, so anyways, molested on a train, here we go.
Hey-o.
And it's like, that guy was a total piece of shit.
Oh, God, I completely forgot about that interrogation scene.
Well, maybe, like, if she wasn't wearing something so subjective, and it's like, someone needs to just fucking put a bullet in your head. Like, I don't know what happened. It was weird.
Shot himself twice in the back of the head. Do you want to talk about the police station scene?
Yamada fucked up. Oh, there's things missing. Immediately opened the door to ask the individual. You're supposed to be taught not to call them a victim because that's bad.
Yeah.
Is a like 15 high schooler, middle schooler. I think like early high school.
Yeah. Young.
Hey, what's the color of your underwear? Is his immediate thing where it's like, she's been molested. Let's not be so on the nose with that. So I was like, fucked up. You fucked up.
It's like
he immediately realizes he fucked up, and then Fuji's, can you go dig your grave? Essentially, it's like, I'm fucking murder you. Minamoto shows up. Don't worry, I'll kill him for you.
No, I'm talking about the recording scene.
Well, I mean, they
wait. Yamada comes up with a great idea.
Yeah, after
Let's reenact
having
a conversation.
Yeah, so
Poor Miyamoto.
They drag the old dude into a room. They have both Fuji and Kawaii come in on their day off, which you don't realize till the very end. Poor Yamada.
No, poor Miyamoto.
Poor both.
Yeah.
But they make this old dude reenact the very thing that he did.
The sexual assault on. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, so Fuji, Kawaii, Yamada, Miyamoto, and who's green hair girl again? I forget her name.
Miwa is her first name.
Miwa. So all of them are here. Kawaii is to be there like as a witness and take notes.
Mm-hmm. Or she's just trainee. She's observing.
Trainee, yeah. And then Sergeant Fuji is given a camera
to
record the whole thing happening while Mio, whatever her name is, Miwa, green hair girl, she's the one jotting down notes, and she hates
perverts.
Perverts, which makes sense. Yamada is telling the old man what to do, and then oh my god, Miyamoto
is it's supposed to be the girl, and it's like, all right, please, like, place your hand and grope, and
harder.
Minamoto's like, yes, please, hello. And Fuji starts taking pictures. I forgot to put in film. Oops. It's like, wait, isn't that a digital camera? Like,
she's recording the whole time. It's not even like a fucking like take picture camera.
no, it was supposed to be like a Nikon camera.
No, she had a video camera later on unless they changed it out.
No, it was
Pretty
just
sure she had a camera where he's supposed to be like rubbing his thing on his.
I mean, they may have the initial thing was all cameras.
Oh yeah.
So,
I would say later on she was fucking recording that shit. Listen,
I never saw the recorder.
Miyamoto at one point had that old man's dick on his ass.
Yeah,
he's like,
it's
good,
like, please reenact grinding.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, and then both Kawaii and Miwa like disgusted in the corner, visibly like, and like hurling insults at him. Where it's like, oh, you should just die.
Yeah,
it makes the dude super uncomfortable. Eventually, they're like, all right, that's enough. Gets the guy back to the room. Yeah, but I was like, he's like, just spilled all the beans.
Yeah, he confessed to fucking every crime.
It's like sick. And poor guy at the very end. He thanks Minamoto and Fuji for coming in and helping. And then Fuji's like, bam, like basically grabs on top of the head. And it's like, you're buying me food. We came in on our day off. And it's like,
yep.
He doesn't get to win.
He doesn't get paid enough for that shit.
Yeah.
I still say my favorite part in all the episodes I watch is still the bar scene where it's like, yo, listen, there's definitely some sexual tension. Just fucking get it over with.
The nurses that the detectives.
Oh yeah, that's
and then the businessmen that they Kawaii and Fuji were with, they totally hooked up.
Yeah,
it's like you guys fucked up.
Well, the officers got called to a call, and it's like, well, the thing is like, Fuji and Kawaii are like, listen, we can't let them know we're in a dangerous line of work. Oh, we just do like secretarial work, blah blah blah. And then they hear the police siren, and they all fucking like leave. And of course, the guys are living it up like, yo, we stopped like 12 terrorists last week. Oh, I would have thought.
Yeah, I do find it kind of humorous that
that's
like,
definitely what a guy would say.
Well,
like,
yes, but also just how attentive, and you know that they're very used to the job. Or when they hear sirens, even someone like Kawaii is like listening and knowing where it's like, here comes the call. Here comes.
Yep.
And it's like, this is gonna suck. And all four of them are super tense.
and like right before they're about to leave on there. I don't know. I don't know. I'd say the show is definitely good.
Yeah, but just throw all the money in my wallet out there. We'll pay. There's only 2,000 yen.
He's like, $20. I bet it was. Oh, so that dude can't win. That dude can't win at all.
Talks about it paying really well. I've got like $20 in my back pocket.
Yeah, it's like that dude wasn't planning on paying at all.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine they probably would use like the credit. I don't know. Japan's like heavy cash, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Very heavy cash.
It's gonna suck when we go. I don't want to carry around that much cash.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't carry around that much cash.
We should go. Sorry, not a casino while we're in Japan. We should go to a pachinko bar.
I want to be able to hear.
We'll go the last day.
Oh God!
So when we're getting on the plane, we won't be able to hear anything as we're like fucking taking off. I don't know. It sounds like the end of the world. Speaking of which,
you didn't finish this one.
What? No, I didn't.
I'm calling you out. You didn't finish this one or the other one.
Listen, it's not my fault. Like I kept almost an hour and a half late at work, which I could have spent at home finishing the two.
I mean, yes, but you also could have watched it earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't someone watch everything yesterday as well?
Yeah.
You had the whole day off. Fuck you.
I mean, I watched it in the same time period that you were watching stuff.
Fuck you. You waited at the same time. So next time you don't get something done, I'm calling you out.
I got done at 6 a.m., so it's fine. What time did you have to work?
What?
What time did you have to work?
I had to work at 9.
Yeah, you get 2 hours. What? You talk about like, I can get 4 hours of sleep and be good. What's 2 hours versus 4?
You realize I went to bed at 3 last night. Well, I got off at 3 last night. I had to be at work by 9. Also didn't deliver my Cali plushie today.
But yeah,
Listen,
World's End Harem.
Yo, boobies. Listen, there was a moment in the show I was like, I don't really want to watch this anymore.
Which moment was
that classroom scene? I was like,
oh, where they all like strip.
Listen, I sat there and I'm like, this makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
Why?
They're all like 12.
No, he's in high school.
They're all like 14.
No.
High schools usually like start at 14. 15. Listen, they're all very young. Also, that boy fucked his teacher. I mean, I understand it's the end of the world, need to repopulate, but first of all, it's like, come on. Also, what is this drama between this little boy and his teacher? Like, I'm sorry, I can't have you myself. It's like, you just fucked a child. Now you're sad that child, like...
Well, that child would be 20 if they weren't cryogenically frozen.
Oh, so that makes it better that now he's going to be fucking all these high schoolers.
He's mature.
He's got good taste. Definitely one of the
It-
better girls of the season. I just like a tall woman. So who was your favorite girl you said from the season that was in the show? What's her name? You got a picture?
I was just joking, but I said Mira, who's the purple-haired attendant.
Oh, yeah, she got fired this week.
Yeah.
She literally got fired.
Got fired and replaced by a lesbian who very much hates men. And it's like,
is she a lesbian?
yeah, oh yeah, totally.
Is she?
Yeah.
I think she just hates men.
No, because
Is
she actively hits on Mira and
that's
during
Also, who's that?
Rado's assassination
right.
attempt. Like, she basically sets up his protection because she totally fucks this one chick who almost gets raped by another woman. So
You got to make do with what you got on there.
yeah.
So what we still have only 3 boys on Frozen, right?
Yes.
We have the main dude. We have the first dude, whatever his name is.
The blonde-haired dude, the first one to be awoken, is Kyoji. And then he's been fucking everyone.
Yeah, he has, I think, 12 kids on the way.
Yeah, some weird,
Currently.
ridiculous thing.
He's like bred with like 100 women. He's got 12 kids on the way. I mean, naming 12 is better than none.
Yeah. Then you have the main character, Mizuhara Redo, and he's not fucking anyone.
I'm busy. Listen, he ain't no fucking simp.
And then you have the third one, which is Shota Doi.
Shota.
Listen,
I think Shota, I see potential in this kid. It was really weird. Like, you had your suspicions about the school. Like, all these girls were like, first of all, handpicked that they know they like you. They want to breed with you. So, like, don't be afraid. It's like, damn. Luckily, the only people we've seen in this school are people in this class.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because Japanese schools, it's not like you go to different classes. It's just what you stay in the class and it swaps teachers. Unless it's like a specific like PE or lab class.
I feel like we should do that here. It makes more sense.
Yeah. I just feel like teachers want their own like kind of thing. I think it'd be better the Japanese way because think about it. It's like the students stay. You don't have to worry about like passing period and stuff. You're just worrying about teachers swapping on there. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. No, besides that, that's where I was like, I mean, I'm not feeling like 100% like, oh my God, this is such cringe, much ew. But it was like, this is kind of weird. Like, I didn't need to see all this. She's like, girls, undress. Everyone just takes off their top. It's like,
you see the legitimate lolly, the green-haired one. You see her naked.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You do. Because he has that scene where he's like,
washing all of them.
Who's that red hair girl? She's like, don't use a towel. It's too rough.
Yeah.
Use your hands. It's like
the nurse,
this sly fucking bitch. Like,
wash down there too. And he's like, nope, I'm going to bed.
Going to bed. I feel like that woman that hates men should not hate him. He's like, he's all right. She still hates all men. Also, I did write some things and I'm like, this fucking bitch, the little girl that like he's trying to mate with. Our little boy and like this girl. Can I what was it? Like, can you help me dress? I usually don't dress myself. But listen here, bitch. Listen here. Dress yourself.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's like
it comes from like a noble class. And they do like
she is
talk about where it's like, yeah, legitimately other people dress her because he talks to.
But at the same time, that
roommate,
bitch knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she definitely knew how to undress herself
when she needed to. Then she's like, I can't sleep in bed by myself. Can you? I wrote down in this, I'm like, this bitch got some moves, and our boy is still like, this is how oblivious men can honestly be. Like, I need help undressing.
He does fuck her that night. So
Well,
it's like, whatever.
she's like, take me basically, and he's like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it takes men are so oblivious. She had to
does,
kiss him, and then it's like
the teacher also does leave.
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming she's probably pregnant, and they're like, okay.
That's why they're like, you need to get out.
Yeah.
They don't want to like worry him with her being pregnant because he's still like trying to get to that mental state.
Yeah.
So, also, I wrote down, you think camera angles in anime are weird when he's talking to her at the pool and she's like crouched down? It's like, listen, man, I already know you're on the nose, but it's like, you don't gotta be that. You know what I just realized? We didn't talk about Jackass on Bon We.
Oh,
I know, right?
It's fine.
Oh, yeah. No, besides that, it's like, come on. Like,
yeah. I do think the most cringe thing is the first guy that was taken out of cryo. I don't know if you got around to being able to see that episode, but Kyoji was like,
no, that was most recent. You can talk about that. So what happens? He gets taken out of cryo, and
no. So the guy, the first guy that's been thawed out, who's already been fucking a bunch of people.
Yeah,
he's kind of bored with having sex with like a bunch of chicks. Where he's like, let's drive around so I can, pick one instead of just having a lineup.
Yeah.
And the one person he picks is Mizuhara's little sister. And it's like
that man, that's definitely a power move. He was looking. He's got to be looking for her. Does she do it? Do they do it?
No. Oh. Because the attendant or his assistant immediately recognized her and is like, and they do have a rule set in place that even for the men, you cannot forcibly have sex with any woman. They have to consent to it.
Good on you.
So
consent is sexy.
Of course, the sister was like, no. And
I only have feelings for my brother, which she definitely does.
Yeah. Mizuhara is like, no, that's my sister. What?
He's like, she's mine.
The only concession, he was like, look, I'll try to set up a date so you guys can meet each other and then she can make her decision from there. It still ends up being a no, but it's really one of those like weird ones, and the guy's still not over it because he's like, it's love at first sight. And it's like, oh, you're cringe. So, yeah.
Like I said, if Johnny Sins was alive in this world, boom. You know what's also weird?
Oh, an old lady also gets poisoned and basically assassinated.
Oh, yeah. They meet that old lady that, like, her husband was working on research on the man-killing virus.
No, he was the first one infected with the MK virus.
Wasn't he also doing research, though, I thought?
No. Oh. He's old.
No. Also, that old woman, it's like, will you tell us more? If you screw me. He's like, and she's like, nah, just kidding. I'm like, damn, that lady could have requested anything. She probably could have got it from that dude. That dude probably would have screwed her just for the info.
Maybe. But they get it in the end. Basically, it's hidden in encryption in the photo that reacts to his wrist thingy.
I assume there's a whole hidden thing. Because what's her relationship to the purple hair girl? They just know each other, or it's...
I'm assuming his childhood friend, the one that Rado's in love with.
Because they have that whole like flashback in her.
I'm assuming she went there to gather information initially.
And she already knows it's man-made.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that red hair chick gets off to the weirdest thing. She's like, there's this red hair chick that's introduced. Yeah. The one that's like,
the scientist. Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, a man. First of all, bitch, you're walking around half naked just all the time in general. Second of all, it's like, oh, I'm so scared of men. But he sets down the can. She's like, oh. And then he talks about viruses. She's like, oh. And I just wrote the reference. I'm like, is this the bitch from Platinum Ends? Mm-hmm. The one that literally got off to thinking about viruses and people melting?
No, I don't think she's anything like that. It's just there's something that they mutually have an interest in, so she can focus on that instead of the fact that he's a guy.
Also, they saved so much money on budget by just doing the gif of her washing her panties. It was literally like...
Yeah. It's whatever. But they have quickly created a secret like hideout because of the information. So Mariah and Akane, who you find out that her mother is basically the one in charge of Japan right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, she's in charge of Japan or the women's union?
The UW Japan district.
Oh, okay.
Like, And she's like, my mom can't be trusted. Like, very much like, no, don't trust her. So it's kind of where we left off. Basically, it's cringe.
Do you know what this has on Mal?
6.32.
Oh, do you already have it up in front of you on the? Oh, that's
course.
right. Yeah, because you're pulling up the. Have you seen this? Wait. Oh, that's the name of the episodes. 2 women, 3rd man, school secret. It's like, can you think of any shittier names on there?
Yeah. First victim is the most recent episode.
Oh, really? First victim.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because the old lady fucking biffs it. Right? Yeah, she biffs it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
No,
know-
she may make it through, but yeah, she was definitely poisoned.
Yeah.
It's like, who did that?
Oh, see, the thing is, I feel more for her death than I do, what's his name? What's his name from Platinum Ends?
Oh, I know who you're talking
That
about.
was such like a fucking like he's in the
Like-
hospital now he's dead. It's like you guys,
Makoto?
yeah, Makoto. It's like, you guys gonna build up any fucking like anything to this on you?
Oh, I thought Platinum End was getting real good, and you haven't.
It's getting
It's not
better.
even on this week, and you're shitting on it.
It's getting good. I have beef
Mhm.
with some of the pacing, but it is getting better
Yeah.
on there. You know what else is getting better?
Not Tokyo
plot
24th Ward.
The plot for Tokyo 24th Ward.
I
I think the thing is, I think Tokyo 24th Ward and Platinum Ends have the same problem of like, it has the potential to be super good. They just have to, fix some of the story and some of the pacing to get it right,
yeah.
Because they just blow through some of it. Like when, Kozu, is that her name? Yeah, Kozu,
Yeah.
the girl, the son of,
You mean the daughter?
the daughter of, what's his name? Bana?
The Koru or
Kozu? Pretty sure they call her Kozu.
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's the daughter of basically
Kaba.
Kaba, that's what it is. And like, she's there walking the streets and she runs into Blue and Blue's like, oh, not Blue's Clues, but Blue was our boy with this shoe.
Shuda?
Shuda, yeah. I just call him my RGB because it's going to be easier for me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what are you doing over here? This is like a shitty part of the street to be in. She's like, stop
Well,
following.
he follows her to the shanty
Yeah.
town.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he runs into her, and it's like, "What are you doing out this late at night or something like that?" Then she goes to Shantytown, and Shantytown's like the fucking Detroit of like this world.
Yeah, it's the ghetto.
Yeah, fuck Detroit. Love you people in Detroit that are listening. No, but he follows her, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, they spent too long with
the
the fall.
MLK of.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's the fucking MLK of Des Moines. But you see what I'm saying about the pacing? Like, it didn't need to be that long of a pace.
Yeah, especially because at one point he loses her, and Shuda just gets pulled in a bunch of directions that are plot convenient.
Yeah, he's like, oh, there's a criminal here. He's popping off. What they should have done is just had the criminal, rather than have the criminal fall on him, have the criminal run by him. And, well, no, what they should have done is have the criminal running, but Blue calls Green and is like, hey, Yuzui is like lost. Can you help me? No, I'm in the middle of chasing a criminal through Shantytown. He's like, what? And then he's like, yeah, we're going by blah, 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 and then have it work out that way. But instead, they just threw a criminal on him. It's like, you're part of the plot now. And then she meets the terrorist to be.
Yeah.
Also, I got to point out something. They said 500 grams of C4. 500 grams of C4 is a pound. About like 1.0, like 2 pounds. I looked this up because I was like, how many pounds is that? I'm like, that's about a pound, isn't it? Look it up. About a pound. Looked up an explosion of a pound of C4. Did a little bit of research. That the explosion that they talked about, or like they visualized in their head, would have been like way more C4. They're like, like whole boat goes up in fucking flames.
Because it's supposed to be like a cruise ship.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's Jeff Bezos' boat.
Well, bigger than that. Basically, imagine like a Norwegian cruise
I
ship.
think they just drew it weird because like the amount of people that were on it was not like, it was like 4 stories tall. It was like a short whatever. Besides, they made it look like this huge like Hollywood movie explosion where they say there was 1 pound, but actually like 30 pounds of C4 went off. And I mean, to be fair, it was kind of smart the way he did it. put it inside of like an external drive, like basically cut up, taped in. I was like, they put way too much thought in how this like terrorist got this C4 on there and not enough thought of this explosion's not very big. Now, if they would have said like, oh yeah, if we put it in like, you know, near the fuel compartment, then the fuel catches on fire and causes a big explosion, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just those little things that add up that just take away from the story because I think too much about it. But I did find it pretty interesting when Red goes to track down our terrorist to be. I wrote down his name. I don't remember his name. Ran. Yep. And he's like, I know exactly who this is, but he doesn't tell the other two. He knows who it is. They have the plot. They find out that Rand developed this software for his mother, or is it his grandmother?
Kunai developed it.
Oh yeah, Kunai developed it for. Sorry, I thought you said
He
it was
just
Rand.
developed it in general, and his
to help his
grandmother was using it because she had bad
He
feet.
played healing music, the whatever.
Yeah, you
And
use
then-
the biometric sensors to
In the C phones or whatever they call them.
Yeah, it's basically like an overly advanced iPhone.
Yeah.
And by using music in tandem with the biometrics, it could identify songs that could be helpful in healing.
I just
And
found
it was the Diva app.
I understand this like a fiction world, but first of all, I was like, it's taking it a bit far. Then it's like drug. It was pretty cool how they implemented drug D though, because they were trying to find out what drug D was. Like, oh, we can't find it. There's no evidence, or never is. And the guy says he needs his vape, and I thought about texting you. I was like, this guy's hooked on vape. But then they find out, oh, vape is a download to this app that then modifies your brain via music.
Modifies the Diva app.
Yeah. So then you get this high. Did you see the prices on there?
No.
It was like 44 minutes, $100. I'm like, fuck me, dude. Like, because they were like highly addictive drug. I'm like, that's not how you hook people. You just start them cheap. There was no free version. There was no trial.
I think the weird thing for me is like, even in the future, something as popular as like a Diva app, he totally would have made money off of.
Oh,
and a lot,
of
especially if like a significant portion of the
well, the thing is, the Diva
population
app
is
he
using
developed
it.
is kind of what's happening to them and giving them an overload of powers.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some like overarching plot thing that connects them all eventually. But
I just thought it was strange that, like, you know, he's super poor. The only money that he basically gets is only when, of course, that jackass fucking evil dude from the
like the dude has very good
Cause-
computer
yeah.
skills, so it's like I don't see why he couldn't get a job in the city that easily there. But
Yeah, well, between that and also just that he wouldn't have made any money on like this overly popular app.
like no money at all. He would have had to make it free. But like even an advert or something like that, you know, like even Spotify has shit like that.
Yeah, it's even one of those like you think someone probably would have bought it way before.
Like the technology to I mean, to be fair, it's fictional, so we don't know like the whole. But the thing is, it's true. Like he would have made money somehow.
Yeah,
Like any app that's getting millions of downloads, like, come on, you're not making no money off that shit.
because from the way it sounded, it was like one of the most popular apps. Ever.
Out there.
Yeah, so.
I don't know what happened in the episodes after. I just know like.
Well, he fucking dies.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's right. Because he's sitting there. I was not expecting him to get shot until they put up the sniper, and then he gets shot. And I'm like, really didn't see that coming. I thought there was going to be like a kerfuffle, sad moment. Like, you're right. I shouldn't do this. And then like, you know, the app hacking takes over his brain or some shit. Also, those guys suck at fucking shooting. Not the guy that sniped him on the boat. They're like this far away, and it's like, boom. It's like.
Yeah, you also would have assumed Shu, who at one point has literally ran faster than a train, would be able to quickly grab a hard drive with explosives in it.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's the continuity issues. That's the issues I have is continuity in this. Oh, sorry, that was loud. I just like
yeah. Well, so after that, like, of course, Rand is super pissed because
they shot his friend.
Yeah,
his best friend from like when they were kids.
Yeah, it was Koki who Green had been the one to set everything up. where it's like, this was the best decision. And Sarg...
He's really not wrong. I mean, in his case, because he didn't know, it's the problem that they don't talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of talk to each other, but they're not quite there.
Yeah, well, even at some point, like, you mean to tell me you couldn't have just tranked this dude? Like, if you fucking knocked him out.
Well, I mean, it was pretty far away, plus it's a glass window, so it's like...
Yeah, but you could still, like, even sneaking up on the car, because he's next to a door, like...
I don't think they showed it off as well, but it seemed like a time thing where he was just trying to get there and just kill him.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem. He was too focused on only the solutions that are being brought to them, compared to either Shu or Ran that are willing to identify solutions that are options that aren't already being placed in front of them.
Well, I think the first time Shu found a solution to a problem that fixes both, the second time Shu and Ran both kind of figured out a problem that worked together, and now we're getting to the point where Green will eventually like work together. I think it's that build up that's still...
You didn't see the last episode.
No, I didn't. So
so
go ahead. So what's the situation? Lay it on me.
You figure out what is basically controlling the system.
So there's a man killing virus.
No, shut up. Let me... Don't interrupt. You sit there and be quiet.
No.
You figure out what is controlling the system, which is totally making the phone call to them and also giving the pre-warnings for disaster.
Is it a
Go
sister?
Figure it's the sister.
I mean, they pretty much hinted at it. I mean, it was pretty obvious then.
Yeah, and they
Even
tried to make it like a big reveal type
thing
thing,
is,
and it's like, we already know.
They should have never shown the scene with the secretary there.
Yeah.
Because then it would have been more of a surprise.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically, it turns out that apparently the mom had designed the system, and then when the sister got hurt, which I'm still convinced that it was the dad's objective to need a human brain for it, and he used his own daughter and set up the fire and then put her in.
You've seen Psycho-Pass, right?
No, but it's not too difficult to just kind of figure out what's going on.
Like Psycho-Pass, system of developing if someone's like going crazy or about to hit like a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
It's this whole mass system of brains, which is kind of, it's like, that's why I said it's kind of a ripoff of Psycho-Pass. Not a ripoff, but
yeah,
it's
it's
similar.
just one brain. And they're using the biometrics from the phones to be able to supercompute all that information and then figure out what's about to happen, essentially, is what's going on. So that's why the like biometric stuff is super, super important in those phones. Sarg, the organization that are basically the fucking police, is now looking for Ran. Go figure, it's the mayor, so Kyoki's dad, shows him what is the powering everything. He's like, no, she's not alive. She's dead. Basically, we are using her brain, and the body is there to keep everything intact. And it's like, now, tell me who is the head of Do-Red or Do-Red.
Because it's red, which is him, and then do and like
which was Kunai's thing.
Undo.
Yeah.
That's his last name.
Yeah. Fucking he totally sells out Ran. And his place
Green's
is
such
raided.
a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. And the school that basically started everything is officially being torn down in the process as well. And it's basically, I think the biggest problem is the Green is very much like a bitch who doesn't understand that things that are being placed in front of them don't have to be the only things that are going on. He's very much like, this is this. So, like, here's two things, but, like, there could be something else in a pocket. So, he's never thinking only about what's in front of him. Or he's only thinking about what's in front of him. And to basically sell out someone who is his friend, that is like the correct decision for him to eventually become like mayor and make sure everyone's super safe. The mayor goes on TV and it's like, oh, we've created it. It's like Karen or Kanye, which is
Kanye?
supposed, huh?
I said Kanye.
Stop it.
What? I'm lighting it up.
Kanye. It's named after his mother who developed the system. She dead too. It's whatever. But they're going to roll out updates to the Hazard cast. And it's like, updates are starting now. It's going to be through like features. And people are now like ominously like opting into having more of their biometrics taken. Where you get that like uneasy kind of feel for it. And Shuda is also feeling the exact same thing where he's like, I don't know, it like something about this like rubs me the wrong way. And realistically, I think what's happening is the sister that died, Asumi, the system has a level of actual consciousness still, which is why those three are being called. And like, it's trying to present them options that the system itself can't do, in hopes that they could prevent everything. And realize that maybe just, because something like our system exists doesn't mean that it's meant to be the only thing that we need either. And the dad is a total fucking bad guy. Because it's also heavily alluded that dad, the dad being the mayor, was totally fine with Drug D ravaging the fucking shanty town so it could be destroyed.
I mean, it could make sense that he's trying to like make crimes happen to make people rely more on a safety network. Because who cares if it happens to the 24th ward? No one cares if it happens to the 24th ward.
Yeah.
As long as the rest of Japan's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this series is that thing where it started kind of strong. The plot was kind of good. And it's just going to end okay. Like maybe like a 5, not 5, probably like a 6 out of 10. Does it say what it's at right now?
6.9.
Really that high?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have put Police in a Pod over this in the ratings. I mean, to be fair, the show looks more beautiful and it's like better animated, I would say. But
I mean, that's just because this is by Cloverworks.
Yeah.
But you wanted to give me shit. And like, my worries have reason. Whenever Cloverworks does 3 shows in a single season, one of them suffers. I think this is the one that's suffering.
You said all of them, though.
No.
You said almost every Cloverworks show suffers. Like, it always ends shit.
No.
You didn't say just one out of, like, 3.
No,
you said most of them.
Like, that I said that one always does a good job, and maybe some of the other 2 will suffer in some way. In this case, because I used the example, they did Horimiya, The Promised Neverland Season 2, and...
Because I remember I was talking about that. We were saying, like, pretty much anything that's, like, started and ended good was Horimiya, but then we started bringing up all the other stuff
and
they did.
They also
like,
did Wonder Egg, where Wonder Egg is good and then falls at the end. The Promised Neverland falls real quick for season 2. At least for me. There's lots of problems pretty quickly that they wrap themselves in a story that they can't finish.
Promised Neverland was great until the last episode.
No, not even up to the last episode. Literally, like, by episode 3, things are falling apart.
I mean, I liked it until about the last episode is where I had a real problem. The rest of it, I enjoyed quite a bit.
I was rushing so much.
They should have killed Norman.
But, yeah, the Cloverworks has done this before, so it's not surprising that...
I just realized in Promised Neverland they like had a 2 they had like a 4-second shot of like feet in a jar. Like they had other stuff in a jar, but that foot in the jar was like pretty prevalent on there. Maybe someone does have a foot fetish at Cloverworks.
But yeah.
Oh shit, they do. They were very adamant about drawing those girls' feet in Wonder Egg priority.
So yeah.
Oh shit, Horror Man 2.
Stop it.
I'm just listening, man. I'm just piecing the pieces to the puzzle. Hey, what are we watching next week though?
What are we watching next week?
Yeah. Next week we'll talk about the Crunchy Awards because
it's midnight, 12:20.
If I didn't have to, if I didn't have to work, then we might record it just Sunday and then get it out. Like I can get it out the same day.
Next week is My Dress Up Darling, Strongest Age, Crest, Sibikui Bisco, and Akabe Sailor Uniform.
See, I feel like every single week we have 1 week show and we have some good shows because Sailor Uniform's good. Bisco's really good. I really enjoy it on there.
What do you think the week one this week is?
Week one this week? Minus World's End Harem because that's just naturally going to be like a dumb show. I think 24th Ward. To be fair, we had, 3 shows we watched together? We each did our own individual. Like if I were to rank them, I would do 24th. I'd do World's End at the bottom. 24th above it. I would put the other one I'm watching with the super long title second, and then I'd put Police in a Pot first. Police in a Pot I feel like just really can't be bad if they stick to the style they're doing, just doing like a 2 random skits kind of per episode on there, which has worked great for them thus far.
I think Q's in my top. Like the last episode was a little weak, but it was still good. But if they definitely like push a bit more on the voice acting and
Demon Slayer was number 1 this week.
Well, I guess. But
I feel bad for anyone else that like is gunning for best animated fight this year because it's like they dedicated 4. Is it 4 episodes or was it 5 episodes to this fight? Minus the last episode.
5.
About 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess about 5 episodes to one massive fight.
And with realistically, no studio is making anything to try to gun for some stupid like awards. They're actively making the story because they either like it or
before we record the Crunchy Awards for next week, we'll have to see how we feel after this when they're going to record. It probably will be next week though. Also, Blue Period was horribly cheated. Yeah. That's all I got. Sorry, I keep playing with my watch on here.
That's the end. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Do you want to press the button?
Yeah, press the button.